Can you pick one of your favorite shlokas and can you recite it for us? I heard your Saundarya Lahari recent videos.
Yeah,
It was
it's
really
it is one of my most favorites. But I would probably not pick a Saundarya Lahari shloka. You want a Saundarya Lahari
no,
shloka?
anything, one of your favorites.
Again, the many favorites. Bhavanitvam Dase in Saundarya Lahari is wonderful. It covers multiple topics of what we have.
Before you start, give us a context of what it is.
Oh, cool. Is it too? I don't know if this can be. Are you going to? This is a wonderful background to put text on. Can you do that? I can help you with it. How to put Sanskrit text? We can. So this is a shloka from Saundarya Lahari. I don't remember the number. Out of the 100 shlokas, this is one. Saundarya Lahari is composed by Adi Shankaracharya in a poetic meter called as Shikharini. Shikharini is Shikhar to jante hain sab. Shikhar is a mountain. Shikharini is the daughter of a mountain. Parvata mountain, Parvati mountain. Saundarya Lahari is talking about Parvati, goddess Shakti. And the poetic meter, the rhythm in which it is set, is also called as Shikharini, Chandas. So it's one meta layer of information, but the shloka itself is very beautiful in itself. This talks about, here in this shloka, Adi Shankaracharya says, and I'm just thinking how to present it in the most intuitive sense. He praises the goddess and tells her that she's too lenient, too generous. She's to somebody who prays to her, she grants, who prays to her asking for something very meager, very lowly. She grants her the ultimate, and she showers abundance upon that person. So he is almost complaining that you're being too generous. So that and he gives a kind of a grammatical explanation for why that is happening. So the shloka goes. Do you want me to recite it?
Yeah.
Okay. This poetic meter goes na 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 na. So it's the same same pattern in every line. I'll just chant it normally once, like I spoken once. So it goes Bhavani Tvam Dase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakarunam Iti Stotum Vanchan Kathayati Bhavani Tvam Iti Yaha Tadaiva Tvam Tasmai Dishasi Nija Sayujya Padavim Mukunda Brahma Indra Sputa Makuta Nirajita Padam. So these are the words. I'll chant it once and see if and then later we'll get to the meanings of it. Conscious of chanting. Bhavani Tvam Dase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakaruna Ite Stotum Vanchan Kathayati Bhavani Tvamiti Yaha Tadaiva Tvam Tasmai Dishasi Nija Sayujya Padavi Mukunda Brahmendra Sputa Makuta Nirajita Padam. So this is how it is chanted.
Wonderful.
So the meaning of the words is, in the first line he says, Bhavani, O goddess. Her name is Bhavani and he is addressing her. Bhavani, Tvam, you, Dase Mayi, in your slave, who is me, Vitara, shower, Drishtim Sakarunam, shower your merciful glances. Iti Stotum Vanchan Kathayati Bhavani Tvam Itiyaha. Somebody who wishes to praise you, thus, who wishes to worship you and seek your blessing, saying these words. Which words? O goddess, shower your merciful glances upon me. Very simple, very meager ask. Kindly look at me with compassion. Tadaiva tvam tasmai dishasi nija sayujya padavim. As soon as somebody asks you that simple thing, you give that person unity with your own self. You make that person your own self, like the stature of being you. Because He doesn't say because yet. It is implied because the words Bhavani is one of the other forms of Bhavami. Bhavami can also become Bhavani when it is used in the sense of I should be. Aham engineer Bhavani means I must be an engineer. So Bhavani is I must be and Tvam is you. In that very first two words, Bhavani Tvam, which also has a different meaning. O goddess, you give me, shower me compassionate glances. Can also be the very first two words can be interpreted as I must be you. So Bhavani Tvam. You need not say Bhavani Tvam dase mai vitara drishtim sakarunam. You can just say Bhavani Tvam. As soon as he says the first two words, you give him the stature of being your own self because he is asking for that in one sense, in the first two words itself. Then what kind of stature is that, being one with the goddess, is Mukunda, Brahma, Indra. Vishnu, Brahma and Indra. Sphuta, Makuta, shining crowns. Neerajita Padam, worshipped feet. The meaning of the sentence is the stature, the kind of stature you offer that person, that stature which is such that it is that being in that stature, one's feet are being Neerajana is being offered by the glitter on the crowns of Mukunda, Brahma and Indra, of Vishnu, Brahma and Indra. Kind of there, I don't know. So the gist, the summary of this can be, O goddess, who is extremely generous, as soon as somebody seeks you for something as meager as showering your compassionate glances upon that person, you give that person the stature of being one with your own self. That stature which is worshipped, that stature in which one's feet are worshipped by the glitter, by the shine on the crowns of Vishnu, Brahma and Indra, of the likes of Vishnu. So this is an interesting combination of word play and beautiful emotion and all that stuff. There are many shlokas which are very interesting and which many shlokas which inspire different kinds of emotions, different kinds of feelings. There are some which give you an intellectual satisfaction, some which tug at your heartstrings. So this one is slightly emotional kind of a thing.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Really, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.